There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
What were you asking? The bruises?
Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
What are you talking about? Like, I didn't really.
So you can't hear me this whole time. That's tight. All right, we'll start this all the way back over. Oh man. A rug mount. Thank you, Devano. Thank you, Spider. And let's just reset this entire thing. That was just a practice run. Dun, dun. All right, let's go with this because this is how I feel.
Noah! Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
Larry!
That's what happens when you troll yourself, guys. You got to deal with that. But anyway, the new case study just dropped for teams scaling tokenized financial products, 60 plus tokenized stocks in tokenized US stocks and ETFs on Solana, built-in compliance features for tokens and extensions, 24/7 trading with near instant settlement. And that's huge because you typically would only have between the windows of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the stock market. Now that you have 24 hours, that changes the game. And I'm looking at, if anybody knows of options on chain where you can do, calls, puts, all of that kind of stuff, let me know. I'd be interested in that because that's something that I've wanted to get into or get back into. I love, TradFi trading in that aspect. It's something that was huge for me back when I was working construction before I, segued over into, all the different jobs to get where I'm at today. I would go to work at, 7, 6 a.m., something like that. But I'd wake up at 4, do all of my research, look at the, any kind of updates, articles, news, so on and so forth. And then by 9 o'clock when the market would open, I would start slowing down. I would take my lunch a little bit earlier so I could be able to, put my trades in, put my calls in, put my puts in, whatever the case was. And I found that I was making more money than I was working in about 3 or 4 hours. I could just make a full day's pay. And that's what really started to actually see, like, hey, this is something I've never been taught. I was able to get on YouTube and find out. And that's honestly why I decided to making content, because I wanted people to see the options and the opportunities that are available with their own money. You don't have to pay somebody. You don't have to have this extensive knowledge or schooling. You can literally get into the game and, start playing around and figure it out. Now it's even better because you got 24-hour access to this stuff. Xstocks did $2 billion in volume in 6 weeks. Their case study right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So again, market hours 24/7, freely transferable, no commissions, DeFi ready, accessible. Typically, you would have to get a brokerage account, and some of them you would have to pay a little bit extra features for this kind of stuff. You would have to pay for a little bit of the pre-market and aftermarket hours, so you could get a little bit more exposure and stuff like that. So this is amazing. Like, for anybody that was in my position, I guess 6 years ago, to get into it now, dude, you guys are gonna kill it. And again, thank you, Spider. I appreciate you, bro. And shout out to Spider. He's one of the homies over here. One of my interns. He got his account suspended somehow. I don't know what happened. He got reported to some bullcrap. So it just sucks to see that. But if you guys, Spider, if you want to make a post on my page, I'll repost that. We'll try to get your numbers back up. And I mean, I know you want to get the main account back, bro, but if it doesn't happen, we got to work with what we got. You just, that's just the way that the cards are falling. But yeah, that's a shame. There is a guy named Kermit. I might as well just go ahead and pull that up too, because Kermit's got a good take on. He had his account suspended before too, and he put a bunch of content out about how to get it back, who to contact, who to get involved with, how you can make noise for this kind of stuff. And we got to support the people in the space, man, because it is kind of like the wild, wild west here. Even though we've been here for a while, it does seem like it's a little kind of crazy. So we got to support the people in the space. We got to give them the love. We got to make some noise so the guys at X and Twitter and all that, they can see, hey, this is a mistake. We got to get this account back for this kid. So if you guys are not following Spider, I'm just pay attention to the timeline. I'm going to post something for him a little bit here, trying to get that thing back, or at least get him some support. But getting X stocks on Solana, Kraken CEX purchase, transfer to the wallet, or you go to Camino Swap. You can just go to your Solflare and start messing around with your stocks as well. So there's more than, just one option. I'm pretty sure. I think they're just showing you X stocks as option on Kraken and that, whatever. But yeah, this is exactly what you see in Solflare. All of these guys right there. I wish they would have put DeFi Dev Corp up here, because that's one of my favorite ones as of recently. Pay attention to those guys too. Specifically the next couple of weeks. Just leave it at that. I'm not supposed to say anything past that, but I'm telling you right now, those guys, I like them a lot. I like what they got cooking. Now let's dive into here and see what we got in this post, or this case study. I mean, the fact that we're getting traditional finance over into DeFi, that's huge, and I like that. So, TLDR, XStocks brings U.S. stocks and ETFs on chain as tokens on Solana. Each token is backed 1-to-1 by a real share held and regulated or with a regulated custodian. Non-U.S. traders get 24/7 out or 24/7 market access, instant on-chain settlement, fractional ownership, and the ability to use the stock exposure inside DeFi lending AMMs and collateral. So that's why they're talking about the different protocols. XStocks has achieved a cumulative volume of nearly $500 million on-chain within 6 weeks of its launch. Shout out to them, man. That's insane. It's like somebody just went like this, said on, and it went. Money machine went brrr. But we got highlights over here to take a look at. The tokenized U.S. stocks and ETFs on Solana. Each stock is 1-to-1 backed by a real share with regulated custodians. It enables 24/7 trading. T+0 settlement. I don't know how that means. And fractional ownership. Live since June 30th, 2025. 60 plus tokenized stocks from some of the U.S. largest companies and ETFs like Apple, Nvidia, S&P 500. I mean, you could essentially just invest into the S&P 500 on chain, and that could be your retirement account right now because it's probably going to outpace your 401k unless there's some kind of like matching from your employer. The other alternative I try to tell people is really take a look at some early withdrawals and put it into Bitcoin. There's a larger chance that Bitcoin goes higher than your account's going to go if you consistently contribute the same amount. So if you're putting $100 away, a paycheck or whatever it is, $25 away, if you're able to do that, if you were dollar cost averaging yourself into the S&P or like Bitcoin or something like that, go look at the charts for the last 20 years and tell me, this isn't, the proof in the pudding right there. I know a couple of people that I met in Nashville, I guess a little bit over a year now. And one of the women, she was asking me, we're sitting by the pool, and she was asking us about why we're there. And it was Bitcoin, Nashville, all of that kind of stuff. I was supposed to be fighting at Karate Combat. And since I wasn't, I was just kind of hanging out, having a drink by the pool. And she was asking more about, crypto. She was interested in it. And she knew what Bitcoin was. I explained to her, where it was at. I think we were at like $20,000 to $30,000 at the time. Maybe a little bit higher. I don't know. I think it was 20, 30 or something like that. It wasn't the best place for Bitcoin at the time, considering where we're at now. But my point is, I told her, exchange numbers with her. She ended up calling me a couple weeks or months later, and I helped her get into like a Coinbase account, I think it was. And she went and she started buying Bitcoin with her 401k. She did the early withdrawal. She said she took most of it out, paid the taxes, penalties, all of that kind of stuff, because she was looking to try to get into early retirement. And I was like, I can't tell you that this is going to happen overnight, but there's a likelihood that this does jump up from where we're at. Bro, she called me when Bitcoin hit 100K, and she was like, I just 3x my 401k. I'm retiring next month. And that's what it's all about. It's improving the quality of your life. It's buying your freedom back. It's giving you an opportunity to have the fun and enjoy the things in life. Like, most of us work lives and we spend more time with work than we do with our families. And like, I understand, man, that's the way the life has gone. I don't think it has to go that way if you don't want it to. I think I'm a good example. Like, you can kind of just step outside of the norm and exit it. I did 17 years of hard construction. I love it. It was great. I had a ton of experience. I know how to do so much shit. But it was breaking my body down, and I didn't want to do that forever. All the old heads that are a little bit older than I am now, I'm 37, going to be 38 in September, they were like, yo, get the hell out of here. Like, they were telling me this shit 10 years ago. They're like, you're too smart for this, get out. And I'm like, no, I can do this. It was easy for me. It was just hard work. All you had to do was just show up, grind, put the work in, and done. I figured out that once I got into investing and stuff like that, and that's why, this is important to me, this is where it all started. I realized no matter how hard I worked in that 8-hour day, even if I worked all the overtime available, if I maxed out all of the time in the entire year, I'm still capped at a certain amount of money I'm going to make. And the fact is, if I did the most that I could possibly do, every bit of like overtime that they offered, because you can't just say I'm working overtime because you want to make more money. They got to approve it. They got to milk the job so they can let it stretch out, because that's just the way that most construction companies run. They can get that shit done quicker. I'm telling you right now, firsthand experience. Most people milk every single job because they do it for job security, so on and so forth. But the thing is that really screws the employee. That screws the person and your time. Your time's gone. Like, you're just stuck. And again, you're stuck at making, whatever it is, $50,000 to $70,000 for, a legitimate construction worker, maybe a little bit more or less, depending on your specialty, your field, and what you do. I know welders get a ton of money. That's not the point. My point is, you get involved with this, you're not going to make any more money than what they're going to allow you to make. So you have to find a way outside of it. That's escaping the matrix. So for me, is like I realized I used my vacation days. I started my own company, landscaping, building furniture, anything I could do, because I was cutting a yard and then I was going to buy Solana with it. And then I would cut another yard. You know, I just had this routine back and I was making more money than I was going to work. Long story short, after that, I went to them. I was going to quit. They offered me a layoff, went back to school. Fast forward, here we are. And now I have an extensive kind of like understanding of how financial system works. You start looking at the money from, you know, all corners of the globe. It all coordinates. It all relates to each other. It's a flow, and you start paying attention to the different prices of, you know, gold. You start looking at the S&P. You start looking at indexes. You start looking at all of that. I mean, everybody's drawn to the lucrative ones. You're trying to look for the penny stocks. You're trying to look for the AMC, GME, and the squeezes. But in reality, like, that's not always going to be there. And usually that's just market manipulation that's going to get you burnt. Unless you're playing the game right. And again, that's why when we talk about Marinade Finance, we talk about not betting on the market, just protect your bag. And I tell you, take 10% and just play around with that. Because, hey, if you have 10% of your portfolio and you can 10x that, by all means, GG's, put some of that into staking and then run it back. Rinse and repeat that. But the point is, if you can find a way to make more and get your time back using a tool, whether it's investing, whether it's trading, whether it's staking, whatever the situation that you want to be in, you use those financial tools that you previously didn't know about. It changes the game. Your employer is literally taking your money, sending it to the bank. That guy's running the numbers up, and he's trying to get as much money for the bank as he can off of your dollar. You have a voucher that says you have $38,000 in your bank account or your retirement account with a 4% APR. Something like that, and then you're going to get taxed 15% for early withdrawal. You're going to get beat over the head for all the money you've been working for, and it's like, damn, you tax me here, you tax me when I spend it, you tax everything. You know what I mean? I know taxes are there, but it's like you got to figure out a way to dial some of that down and mitigate some of that so you get some of your money back. And once you start to buy your freedom back, you see this whole picture come out, and it's hard, and it's not the easiest thing to do. It takes a lot of dedication to it, but man, it really will change the game. But if you start to look at that, I mean, this book right here, this is where it all started, dude. It was my investment, I don't know what you want to call it, but what did I call this? Stock lingo. The dude Chris Sains, he's a YouTuber, and he has like great advice on there. But look, see, even like a little graffiti thing, stocks. But I started in here. I started tracking all of my buys. Like, I'm talking about everything from Sundial, Genius, and this is all from 2021. Oh man, this is crazy. But again, you used to have to buy or get an account like a Webull account or a Robinhood, and we remember what happened with all of that, right? Like, they can pause it, they have full control of it, you don't have any access to it. I wonder how this would work since it is custodian. Maybe they can do the same thing. I don't know if there's a squeeze, if they could shut the thing off there. Oh, Jeremy has a good point right here. Yep. They're giving him his table scraps for less. Exactly. So when you work construction, they'll bid for like $80. They'll pay you 30. They'll take the 50. They'll take all of that. So like they just beat you over the head there, right? For all of those hours, they're taking your money, putting it into the bank account, running it up, and you're getting that small little bit of a triple or that like drip out of it. And then they're just continuously building their company up. But Jeremy's on point with that. And I suggest you guys have that conversation at Thanksgiving dinner or whatever you guys celebrate. You sit around the family and be like, hey, do you guys understand how your 401k works? Just ask them. And if they don't, tell them to get on ChatGPT and ask them. That'll break it down so simple. And it's not using AI to replace anything. It's to explain and use it as a tool. And that would probably be the segue into like, hey, help me understand this a little bit more. Come on to X, find your voice. But Jeremy, you're spot on. I'm glad you're talking to your family about that because that needs to happen more. But yeah, this lady, she came back to bring this all back to a full. She came back and she was able to retire early, and she was able to, bless her family and her children and put them through college. And like all it came from was a conversation down in Nashville about Bitcoin. And that's all it took. It was just putting that little bit of an interest. And the other two ladies, they never heard from them again, but I bet they're still working, So I don't know. I'm not saying working's bad. I love working. It's not a problem for me. I guess that's just what happens when you work construction. You just get used to it and it keeps you busy. But anyway, distribution and composability on day one, listed on Kraken and Bybit, tradable via Radium and Jupiter, available as collateral on Camino, Wallet, Native, and Phantom, and Soulflare. So there's the shout out I was looking for right there. Programmable compliance features with via Solana token extensions. Oh, yes, finally. This is where the Token 2022 extensions really comes into play, and the SPL, no, not the SPL 404s, but this is where the extensions and the hooks and all of this stuff that I was looking into back in January of 2024, when everybody missed that, and then 4 months later you saw the the rise of the SPLs and then the fall of the SPLs as well. But that's exactly what it was, completely what it was. Like what we used to talk about in 2021 about we wish this could do that. It is possible. You can do that kind of stuff. You can have a private network on a token. You can make, I mean, they even brought in Ascension or whatever it is, where you can basically put rules on a profile, like age limits and stuff like that. Like you can have membership cards, you could have your insurance cards and stuff like that tokenized. All of this stuff is possible right now. If you don't believe me, go to Solana's website, go to their blog, look up Token 2022 extension, read through that bitch. It tells you everything is in there. And that's why when I told this story last night, when I was working with G Media, they all were kind of clowning on me because I was like a Solana maxi or whatever, and they're all Ethereum people, and they said everything's coming back to Ethereum. You might as well just get in now since you're on the poor chain. Well, come to find out, everybody's trading Solana, and you're only talking about Ethereum because it finally broke over 4K. I mean, it's been lagging, but it's just funny to me to see the way that things go, and I'll leave it at that. But I kind of knew what I was talking about, and everybody kind of doubted it. I just stuck to my guns. I'm like, look, man, that's why I say read. Just read through it. It doesn't take much. And if you don't know it, write a word down, look it up. You have all the tools like right in front of you. So, and the rumors, any rumors, Jeremy, I would come into the space to talk about it. I don't want to release or say anything. I think we are still in the works of all of this. The gears are moving, but I would suggest getting into the space at 11 or tuning in. I think it is going to be recorded if you were busy. I know you probably got stuff going on. I think you said you're at work last time, but I could bring that question up for you if you aren't there, and you can kind of run it back. So I'm just going to jot a note down for you real quick. Proposal date. Let's see what we can find out for you. But I appreciate the questions, guys. And if you don't mind reposting, sharing this out, getting some more people in here, catching some of the alpha here before we get into spaces and stuff. I only got about 15 minutes left, so let me burn through this and we'll go ahead and take a look at the charts. All right, last thing, early traction, 2.1 billion cumulative volume across venues in 6 weeks, including 500 million on chain, 58% or around 58% share of tokenized stock trading in 2025, with Solana holding the majority of the market value as of August 11, 2025. That's nuts. That's bullish. That's super bullish. Let's see, close this for you real quick. All right, the simple problem. For many people around the world, buying U.S. stocks is slow, expensive, or simply impractical. Equity markets operate on limited hours and require investors. They're just basically repeating what I said to you guys. Require investors to navigate intermediaries and paperwork. Settlement traditionally can take several days. So that is absolutely true. For you to swap like your stocks from one account to the other account, you got to do a whole bunch of crap. You got to pay fees. This you can probably just boom right to a wallet. This adds friction for anyone looking to invest into locks out potential investors straight up. I mean, this is the floodgate for the retail to get into this. So if you can imagine this, and then this is just where my head's at. Take Robinhood's app because it's so simple and so usable. And imagine how many people flooded into, buying on stocks on there to this day. You have people that have made a whole entire YouTube channel based on the Robinhood app and trading on that. Now, imagine using your Solflare wallet in the same respects. You have it on there. You can literally, where's my extra phones? Oh yeah, I cleared it out. So we'll get back to that. But you can open up your Solflare wallet. You can look at the tokens on the market tab. It's like two different things. Wait, can I pull it up here? Yeah, I can do that. Let me see if this works. Let me in. Let me go to burn wallet. Where's my burner? Perfect. All right, let's go bigger. Let's share this baddie. Right here. So this is Solflare. You have your portfolio, your tokens, and then boom, you got stocks right here. This is the S&P. This is everything we just saw up there. The DeFi Dev Corp right here. This is the one that I was saying. They're up. Look, see, this is why I like them. These guys are up $21.31 per share. They're up 2.3%. That's not bad for the stock market, guys. That's just the stock market. But these guys buying all that Solana, I would definitely be looking into them. This is something I've been looking at to get myself into. Their market cap is only at 1.4 million. I bet they I'm not going to put any bets on the table. I want to wait for a prediction market for something like that. But that would be a cool little game to play. Prediction, DeFi, price. Curious, who thinks that that's going to be $40 in 2026? That'll be a good one. But anyway, get your Solflare wallet. You can just trade stocks right in there. It's super simple and easy. You don't have all of this extra paperwork and baggage that you got to deal with. That's what this is breaking down as far as the simple problem. Tokenized stocks give U.S. traders, non-U.S. traders financial exposure, or guys that use a VPN, to use to share, and can be used as collateral. Hold in an AMM or moved between platforms 24/7. This opens up new strategies and kinds of liquidity. This is exactly what we were just saying. Xstocks was launched on Solana on the 30th June. Come on, guys, speak English. Was launched on Solana June 30th, 2025, and backed by one of the longest standing real world asset issuers. So take a look at this. They got a little bit of a YouTube video. Again, you can see the stocks they have here. They are missing the most important one, which is DeFi Dev Corp, but we'll let that slide, and we'll talk about it another time. Oh, there they are. Oh, that's just a soul scan right there. So that just shows you the account, but boom. Damn, everything's on here. Solana is the future of finance. If anybody's doubting that at this point, you guys are crazy. But since we are at this point, and I'm probably going to chew up all the time I got to talk to you guys, let's take a look at Marinade Finance and what we got cooking over here.
I was glued to the charts. Every dip felt like the bottom. Every pump, just the beginning. But it never was. I lost sleep. I lost some soul. Then, I lost myself. Until I didn't. There was another way. I didn't have to chase green candles. I could make my soul work for me. Marinade staking. Instead of betting on meme coins, validators were competing for my stake. Hundreds of them, competing for the highest rewards. But not everyone gets my stake. Only the best earn it. No downtime, no shortcuts. Sam automatically delegates my stake to the top validators. Miss the APY threshold? No stake. Underperform? Bonds protect my rewards. And the best part? It works for both liquid and native staking. It's time to stop playing the game and start stacking wins. Minimize risk, maximize rewards. Marinade staking.
Chef hat stays on. You know how we do. And for the record, if you guys are watching this, if you ever want to join in the conversation and come up here and just chop it up and any of these specific topics, like I don't have any kind of like concrete thing that says, no, we can't stay here and talk about this. Like all you guys got to do is request to come up. You can just show your face, or you can be a PFP just like this. It does the same thing. I'd much rather you be a human being, because that's what we're doing out here. We're trying to break down some barriers and show people how easy and fun it is to get involved. Some people see PFPs on YouTube and stuff like that. They're like, the heck's going on here? But to that point, some people see it and they say, oh, that's super interesting. That's cool. What is going on over here? This is something I've never seen before. So if anybody ever wanted to come up here and chop it up, be part of the conversation, you guys are more than welcome to. I'd be happy to bring you up. Just send me a DM, hit me up, and we'll coordinate that and make it happen. I've been doing this as often as I can, Monday through Friday. Tuesdays, we do the Solana Made Simple with me and Jules, powered by Zeus Network. And speaking on that, I might as well show them some love before I have to turn this thing off, because I knew I was going to run through my time. These guys are cooking. They just announced some hints towards the Zeus delegation. If you guys aren't paying attention, man, like you didn't pay attention to Troll, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm literally giving you the play. I'm like, hike, here's the ball, go score. Do what you got to do with that information, man. shout out to those guys, man. It's been a lot of fun learning and growing and getting to know that team over there, and just working with them. Those guys really got it down packed. And again, I see a lot of FUD about Zeus on the timeline. Everybody's like, you guys are working on this and this is going down. It's like, yeah, attention's going over here, but you don't think that they're working on the back end? Do you think they want to fail? No. Everybody talks about, like, when something goes down and they FUD it, they're like, you guys aren't paying attention to it. It's like, well, what do you think? Luca wasn't paying attention to Pengu when everybody dumped it? He's not the one telling you to buy or sell. He's not the one controlling the market. Neither is anybody at Zeus. That's why everybody has an opportunity to buy and sell as they want to. And for the record, if you guys want to send it to zero, by all means, I'm going to grab that shit off the bottom. I'm happy with that because there's things coming up. I don't know everything. I can just start seeing things happening. I'm like, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. So just pay attention to that. That's all I'm going to say. Now let's get back over to this. And yeah, you guys might have to wait till the daily stream if I have time to do some charts. Probably ain't happening today. So the latest article right here, you're probably going to see some stuff coming up pretty soon. We got some more announcements and stuff like that from Marinade Finance. But the latest is half of the protocol fees will be used to buy or used for Marinade buybacks. Here's what you need to know. There's a full article that you guys can go into. I'm not going to do that for you. I want you to do your own research. I want you to go to Marinade Finance, and I want you to make a post about what you like the most about the buybacks that are coming, or what kind of questions you have. Put some kind of post out there. Tag me in it. Let's get some activity. Let's get some engagement and see what we got cooking over here when it comes to your thoughts, your opinions, and you know, different strategies you guys might have. I'd be interested to see what you got. But there's all types of articles here. This is the announcements. It's pretty simple. You just click on announcements at the top, and it'll bring these up. You got the buybacks, introducing active staking rewards, the BTC Soul and Marinade Stake Soul earn BTC. Shout out to Zeus Network again. Marinade Finance was SOC2 compliant, which is huge because that gives institutional investors the confidence to get in. Plus, we got the SAM situation, the staking auction marketplace. You got Marinade Select. There's just so many reasons to look in this side or in this direction. Plus, highest APY. So, do what you need to do with that information. You have native or you have liquid staking, guys. Knock it out of the park and start securing your future and putting something away, man. I'm telling you, it'll grow over time. The richest people in the world are not spending their money on meme coins. Point blank, period. Regardless of what the people that are telling you on the timeline say, they aren't being this honest and transparent and reading through this stuff. They're hitting you with buzzwords. They're getting you to react, and they're not, you know, they're not. They're not really playing the game in your best interest. I'm trying to show you the plays. I'm trying to show you what we got going on here. I'm trying to show you a fun way to get involved. And, you know, we got recipes coming on where, hey, if you really want to get those meme coins, you could do that. You want to keep it stable, you can get USDC. You want to mess around and get some of the, you know, the ecosystem tokens, you got that option too. I would say this to you. If you like the idea of it, get into the early access of this real quick. I don't know how we took a left-hand turn over to here so quickly, but where is it at? Where are we at? Oh, solutions. No. Resources. Stake now. Recipes. Where's recipes at? Oh. No. How do I always lose this? Did I? All right, this is what I'm talking about here. Get on the early access up here. It's app.marinade.finance/recipes. If you get on the early access, you just put your email on there. You're going to be able to take a look at this. You got USDC, ZBTC, and Marinade at the top. Take a look at the rest of these guys. You got some meme coins. You got some ecosystem coins. I think Pengu is more or less a utility or eco coin, just kind of masked as a meme coin for retail exposure. It's a cute penguin. I think that's the play that they went on. I think that's why people like it, or at least the angle they were trying to go on with that. But think about it like this. If you have people that are staking their Solana, and there's an automatic process that's buying this token, whichever one you want it to be, that technically serves as a buyback. You see what I'm saying? Like, you are kind of supporting the token. Like, let's say you're just dollar cost averaging into your bag. You're just adding to it because Bonk's down, and you know that Bonk is going to go somewhere. It's been around. It's been, you know, our saving grace since 2022, I think it was. just pay attention to that kind of stuff. But, you know, think about how you see people talking about getting buybacks and putting them and implementing them, so on and so forth. This essentially is a tool that's going to be doing something like that for you. For me, if I was to say right now, am I going to stake and where would I go? I'm probably going to go with ZBTC if I was to be honest with you. But you also have this other option I think is pretty cool. Quicks was kind of talking about this and he was feeling bad. He was like, damn, you're going to make me go to this one right away. It's a charity one. It's called CMRI. It's a nonprofit. You're able to use that and do some kind of cool stuff. And I think there's ways that you can actually find different, associations or whatever it is to, contribute to. A lot more of this conversation will be coming down the pipeline, but it's something that I want you to guys really, really understand that this is, going to be a fun tool that's going to be something to give a little bit more ownership back to the holders and the stakers that, are utilizing this tool of just bottom line recipes. So take a look at that. And I think we're pretty close to that. I guess I want to look back at this article again some other time. We're going to close that out. All right, I did promise some charts, so let's go. We got like 3 minutes. All right, we are just, everything looks fine. Nothing to really worry about as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the biggest thing you could be concerned that it's going to be coming down to like 110, 112,000 because we're at 112 right there. So that's what me and Jules were talking about yesterday. I mean, don't freak out, don't react, respond. Take a second, look at it, and see what you got. That's a wrong time frame for me. Yeah, dude, broke down like a motherfucker. All right, so see this right here, these little areas. This is what we're watching to see if it bounces there, and we've seen this happen a couple times. So this channel is getting bigger, which could show us that we may be coming back down even further. It's going to depend on the market. I do think that there is a chance that we break down. I just see like this is a downtrend, and you'd have to have some serious activity. You're only at 33 on the RSI. This is on the 3-hour chart. I mean, you haven't even looked like you want to flip back over on the MACD. I think this is coming down a little bit further. So hold on tight. It's going to be a ride. All right, we're going to switch gears up and look at Salami. Don't like that. Nope, don't like that chart at all. Not a big fan of this. All right, I got to get rid of these. I mean, this played out to a T. Like, I'm not saying I can predict the future, guys, but damn, this is pretty good. I said, hey, maybe we chop, and then maybe we go up there. It fucking, I didn't change them. All I did was just draw squiggles on the line and put rockets on it, and it worked out. But this is, I mean, you start to see this stuff. It's not like you have to be a astrophysicist or anything crazy like that. You can really just start to like take this into consideration and watching stuff. I honestly learned a lot of my charting from Chris Sains and this dude. What's the other guy's name? I forget. Kevin something. I don't know. I can't remember. But he was some YouTuber talking about stocks and trading and stuff like that. I would DM him all the time. I was like, get into crypto, get into crypto. And finally he did get into crypto and he makes posts about it. But I don't like this because it's coming all the way down here. One thing I do see is it is looking like it's getting a little bit of choppiness down here where you're finding some support. It's maybe we're going to go down a little bit lower to 170-ish and bounce from there. I mean, you have some support and resistance that we've played around again with. But with seeing Bitcoin looking like it wants a leg down, I could see this kind of coming down a little bit further. Where will it fall? I don't know. Probably no less than 157 in worst case scenario. But it looks like, what's that, Google Calendar? We got a little announcement. 30 minutes. We got space, guys. So get ready for that. Marinade Finance. We're going to be hanging out with the homies, catching up with what they got going on. But again, Solana, I don't like this right here at all. Double top, downside, coming back down here, revisit. Maybe we bounce. Maybe this is where we get 168. So that, again, falls into where I was thinking about 170-ish. That's the first one. If we don't hold this right here, you could probably expect 50s, but I don't know. It's gonna have to play out. But you are kind of just not doing what we wanted. We wanted this to go up here, and it broke down. Like your cup and handle didn't play out, and that happens a lot. You just have to know what you're looking at and understand that, hey, it doesn't always work out the way you chart it. I mean, like you saw that line, this little thing that worked out, but these aren't playing out right now. The thing is, patience pays. If you're willing to be patient with this, it will pay. So if you go all the way back out, real big zoom out here, you're looking, 2-3 years down the line or whatever. I don't know, maybe a year if you don't have patience or whatever the case is. We filled the gap. This is still technically a cup and handle. The candle is trying to come back up, and where this would go would be $380 to $400 from the bottom of this cup. When you draw a straight line, gap fill, measure the distance, take that distance, put it on the bottom leg of your handle, and wherever that falls, that should be your all-time high. That should be where this, shoots to. Doesn't always work out like this, but over time, it typically does. It's something I've seen, and I'm confident in saying it just because of my experience of watching it play out. The blue line is underneath the orange line. If we can bump over top of it right here, you are seeing on the monthly charts that is showing a little bit more buying pressure, despite the weeklies and the dailies that we're seeing that it is a little bit bearish. This is showing overall a good trend towards the upside if we can continue this pattern. Right now, not looking too hot. We're gonna have to see how Bitcoin plays out, and we'll move on from there. But guys, that's all I think I got time for today, because I got some other things I got to take care of. So I'm gonna exit out of that. Probably missed on some different things and jumped around a little bit, but hey, we covered a lot today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys took some of the alpha with you. It's all about vibes and value and just kind of sharing what's going on here. And of course, we're not going to be able to cover everything, especially with my crazy ass as fast as I go. Sometimes it's just like downshifting on them and shit, But no, we're having fun. We're having a good time out here. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. So let me see what else we got. If there's anything else I need to share with you, I might as well play this and then we'll get out of here. You guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in Spaces in about 25 minutes.
I was glued to the charts. Every dip,
Quickly, with the lob, Zion's there. Plays it ahead of